Good evening, everyone. The meeting has now been called to order. We will have the reading, we'll have introductions.
Point of order. I don't know, do we have quorum?
Oh, let me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What did we say, 6 or 7? Did they say 8? I thought it was 8.
There's somebody online, but I can't see who it is.
Where do you see? Oh. Oh. Are you a board member online? Maybe it's just a guest. Hmm. And we can go on with the meeting, but it's just not official if we don't have a quorum. Well, I thought based on Robert's rules in the state, you can have a discussion, but you can't vote and take any action.
Oh, here's Nikki. Now we're good.
I think that's what, 7? We need one more.
Nikki just came in.
Yeah, but I think we need 8 is what they said.
They said 8.
8
Yeah.
or 7. Oh. We need still one more.
Have you officially resigned, Irene?
But I want us to check that, so moving forward, because every board I've been on, you can actually meet, but you can't take any action, no voting, no anything. It's just discussion. And you can talk about that discussion at the next full body. I used to be a master of Robert's rules, but I'm not anymore. Hi, Mike.
Hi, sorry I was running late today.
That's all right. You saved the day. We have a quorum now.
Awesome. Okay.
Uh, The meeting has been called to order. We'll have introductions. We'll start with you, Nikki.
Captain Navarro, KCK PD.
Lynn Melton,
Lador Lattimore,
Paul Soptic.
Brian Bath.
Marsha Rapp,
David Patton.
Marcus Wynn, District 2.
we'll have the reading of the minutes. Ms. Oh. Okay.
okay, I don't think I have this right. Discussion, we had, meeting was called to order, and the first thing was discussion on the 4 recent listening tours, with the end being a report that will be finalized and sent to the mayor and to the commission. Chief Oakman reported on the Real-Time Crime Center and plans on hosting an open house in the future. Sheriff Soptic reported that they have been attending a lot of community events and receiving positive reaction. Discussion was had regarding the ordinance versus state statute of the LEAB Advisory Board. Nikki Richardson requested the latest DOJ report, Reed Partridge to follow up. There were no guests in attendance and meeting was adjourned at 5 o'clock. Motion to approve.
I have 2 additions. One, it was the consensus of the board that we would meet in December. And it was the consensus of the board that the meetings run from 4 to 5 o'clock, not 5:05, but 5. So if we in the middle of a hot discussion, just get up and say meeting adjourned. So those were the 2 additions that I had. Any other additions, omissions? Hearing none. I move, well, is there a motion to accept minutes?
I move to approve with the additions.
It's been properly moved in second that the minutes be accepted with the additions. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carry. Mr. Reed, would you like to just glance over your report that you sent out to everyone?
Our office issued a report in October of this year, following up on an earlier audit. This is called the Bias-Based Policing Policy Annual Reporting Compliance Follow-up Audit. It should have been emailed out to all the board members. Didn't get an email with the report in it. Please let me know and I can make sure you get a copy. It's our practice to, after approximately a year or so, to follow up on audit. The original audit was issued in September of 2022. So we go back and follow up and see what has changed since then. In this case, there were a couple issues with the sheriff's website that relates to related to putting the proper or correct.
Reed, can you talk into your mic? Okay.
This report followed up on an issue that was identified back in September, and that was just very simple, that the policy available to the public for bias-based police, prohibiting bias-based policing in the sheriff's office was not the correct policy. It was a outdated policy. And so we just brought that to their attention last year and they corrected that. There's also a internal policy as a side note on a form they fill out for complaints. So they have both the policy for complaints and compliments, excuse me. So they have a positive or a place on the website where you can review both of those. Like I said, and if anybody needs an extra copy, I have one here, or I can email you.
Now, the compliments and or complaints, that's on what website?
It's on the sheriff's website. This
Oh.
is audit was related specifically to the sheriff's department.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions? Thank you for your report, Reed. I mentioned last meeting that we needed to compilate all of the listening sessions and anything that has transpired over this year to prepare a document to submit to the mayor and commissioners. I didn't get any volunteers. I've been so busy to reach out. So I'm gonna do the report and bring it next month and then pass it out to everyone. You all have an opportunity to edit in any way you see fit. And then hopefully we can submit or get a place on their agenda for January. Does that seem workable to everyone? And if you have anything that you think needs to go in that report prior to me bringing it on next week, just reach out to me via email, telephone, or however. Are there any announcements? Any board members have any announcements? I have an announcement, a community announcement. Friends of Yates held its 25th domestic violence faith luncheon culminating the month of October, which is National Domestic Violence Month. And Representative Lynn was one of the greeters from the state. Did a beautiful job. Thank you, Lynn. Soptic and Chief was honored. Anybody else? Oh, Carl. Captain Carl. Captain.
Yeah, Wendy Medina and Maya Banks and
Yeah.
Captain Carl. Yes.
Were honored. And Missy, is it Hill? They presented the awards. She and, please pronounce her name.
Najeri Mwangi,
Say it again.
Deputy Najeri Mwangi.
Y'all heard that. Did a beautiful job. And so it's a beautiful affair. Yates have hosted the domestic violence program, the only comprehensive shelter in Wyandotte County for 45 years. And we've never had a major incident where an abuser actually, they've come to the door, but with no real issues. So we feel like we've helped a lot of women and children. And I want you to know that we do serve men. We just can't do it in the shelter. We put them up in the hotels and all. So men do get battered. It's a misnomer of believing that they don't, and sometimes seriously. But anyway, that was my announcement. Friends of Yates is having its gala, I think 100. We're representing 110 years of service in the community. And so we shine one time a year in December, and it's called Holiday at the Apollo. It's our board meeting, and
I can barely hear you, ma'am.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay. I said Friends of Yates is hosting its gala October the 9th.
December 9th.
I mean, December the 9th. I just got through talking about October. And I'm gonna stop talking about Yates because this is the LEA board, but I just want you to know what's happening in the community. So does anyone else have any announcements related to crime or what we're doing positive in the community? Captain, you want to make any announcements on behalf of the chief?
He didn't really give me much to share, but nothing really changed over this past month. Everything's still steady and the crime is down.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing, crime being down, and it's constantly going down. And okay. So I'm really just kind of stalling, trying to see if we could at least meet into 4:30. But so, Marcia, you always have some comments. Do you have anything today?
The only thing is, when I go to a lot of the, Citizens Advisory Board meetings, a lot of it is not about crime. A lot of it is about homelessness. And I'm telling you, we need to do something about that problem here. I don't know what we need to do, but some people need to get together on it, do something about it, because the police are saying, well, they're not doing anything that's criminal. But if you let the homeless sleep on sidewalks and on benches, they're gonna end up out west. And if they're sleeping in front of those stores and defecating and relieving themselves, we're gonna lose a lot of revenue. People will not go out there. It'll turn into a little San Francisco, which is a beautiful city, and they ruined it out there in San Francisco. So I'm just saying, what is maybe looks like just a little problem now can turn into a really big problem. And then they start doing other things besides just sleeping and having drugs and everything else. And I think there's a bigger problem in the east part of the city than there is out west. And that I have heard about. But it all needs to be looked at. Either we need to get some kind of place that has cots that they can sleep, that they should not be allowed to sleep. I was driving down Leavenworth Road, and at 58th on the grassy knoll there at the stoplight, there was a guy over there sleeping on the grass. I don't know if he was dead or if he was sleeping or sick or what, but I called it in and while I was driving by. So, we just can't allow this, it's not healthy for the people that are doing it, and it's not healthy for the community.
Well, homelessness has been an issue all over this country, and it didn't bypass Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas. And they're talking about it, Irene, on the commissioners, and they have subcommittees and all trying to deal with this whole issue of homelessness and what to do with people or the homeless during the cold weather. Did they find a place for cold weather? Where is it gonna be? Uh-huh. Aye. So it's a lot of stuff going on in the community and it's not on deaf ear. People are really talking about.
We did do something recently, just this past week, where the chief pretty much got fed up of what's going on there at Seventh and Minnesota, at the clock tower there, and all the homelessness and folks just hanging out there and just scaring people. We collaborated with the sheriff's department and also the fire department. And we pretty much just kind of did a blitz there and let everybody know, if you're not there waiting on a bus, you need to go. Kind of gave a lot of folks warnings, and then the folks that were dealing with unhoused. We also have a crisis intervention team, two professionals, employees that were hired to deal with the homelessness, along with officers that have gone through training to deal with folks like that. We offer resources. We're constantly getting the phone calls, going out to their places where they have taken refuge, and we offer the resources. Unfortunately, over 90% of these folks that we come across, they don't want the help. They don't need the help, and that's just how they want to live. So we just try to get them to move on. We've noticed an influx of homelessness here in the Wyandotte County area over the last 7 years or something, right? And little by little, they are starting to go out, towards the west, but we're dealing with it. And 100% of the police department have to be CIT certified. So we're constantly holding classes for the crisis intervention teams.
Captain, when you say resources are offered, could you tell us a little bit more about what those are? Like, where do those folks go? Say somebody does want to accept resources.
So we have there's the facility down the street there on 7th Street. I'm drawing a blank right now. Joyce, thank you. We offer those services. We also offer the cross lines, just different organizations that they can go to get some help. There's the RSI, the 48th and State Avenue that we could take them to.
And I genuinely don't know. Do any of those offer overnight shelter?
No, as far as I'm concerned, Wyandotte County has never had an overnight shelter like KCMO does. So we would primarily call KCMO shelters to see if there's any vacancies and try to get them some help there.
What used to happen, and then they're still doing it on a low-level basis, they would house people that was unhoused or homeless. It used to be in the First Baptist Church, then it was out there Bryant Center, then they went up to the hotel for a year, and now they went over to where, Irene? The cold weather. And at one time it was 2 times. It was the warm weather because people were having heat strokes and all of that. So it was a place, and it was those same places that people were going. And, but we've never, ever had a shelter where you were displaced and instantly we had somewhere to refer you. One of the things when I was a commissioner for the housing authority was to get some units, but you never have enough where we could refer somebody and they wouldn't have to go through that process. But that's what, 4 families and on a cold night, it could be 75 people needing to be housed. So it's always been inadequate. But being able to help one is better than helping none. And so that's what's happening in my county. We've just always been crunched with, and even with the, and I haven't kept up with it, but with the cold weather and warm weather, you had to be in by 8 o'clock, and then you had to leave by 8 o'clock. And people would go to the library and they were complaining because it became a nuisance for them. And so it's been an issue here in Wyandotte County for quite some time.
And worse so.
But there are several people out there on it, and I have people from our agency that serves on committees working with Unified Government and the Homeless Coalition to try to squeak this problem. Anything else? We made it to 4:30.
I got a question for Captain. How do they get from Kansas to Missouri if they had an opening to homeless people to get them there?
We offer them transportation.
Okay, is it on a bus or what is it?
I think there's, victim services offer some kind of bus vouchers, taxi vouchers.
Okay,
Yes, but if there's like one of them, then we can transport them. We could try to meet up with the KCMO officer or just drive them straight there. Mhm. Is that still the case?
So we're seeing a lot of Missouri. Some folks over. But
Okay, I wasn't aware of that. I figured after a while, they probably just start charging again. Okay. Yeah.
one of the things that Brian, his sister, when she was severely injured, I think that was related to a homeless person with mental health issues. So it is crime related often, mental health, substance abuse related issues with homelessness. So it's not, if you don't provide wraparound services for various social ills, it will continue to perpetuate itself over and over again. So it's not just finding a place to stay, but what are all the extenuating circumstances to have gotten them in that situation? And what kind of supportive services do we provide to make sure they have opportunity not to go that route again? So it's a big problem, and it's have to be dealt with lens that are wide to make sure that we attack it. Well, with that, if no one has anything else, is there a motion for adjournment? You- The second? Well, it's been moved and second that we adjourn, so we can see each other next month. Same time, same place.
Clarify to answer your question, you must have a quorum.
Oh, okay, okay. Is that state law? Or that is just the policy of unified government? But
You can only ask your questions all at once.
I know, but that's
I
all.
don't believe it's state law. I think that's out of Robert's rules and that's the unified government.
Right.
You want the legal authority for that?
I think it's all right, because I think they want to
That
leave.
was my recollection, and then I just sent an email and checked with the powers upstairs that be, and they're like, yeah. that's
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I will find it.
Right, right. And I think it's the unified government protocol that, mhm. But that's good.
How did I do these enough to go? Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna abide by it. And here,
Very nice.
and, you know, they can do whatever they want to do.
Oh, okay. Then I'll give them actually this. Try to get some food.
I know.
You know, if not, I thought they'll carry it off to Missouri or somewhere. They might as well give it to us right here.
That's right.
Michael, thank you so much for being here. We have adjourned. There he goes.